There are people who are good in grammar and pronunciation, but they struggle in speaking English spontaneously. Hello everyone, it's Niza again and welcome back to my channel. So, it's been a while that we hadn't discussed anything. Siguro napansin nyo na itong mga nakaraang araw, nag-post lang ako ng mga videos about my lessons in oral communication. Those are actually for my students na nahihirapan humabol sa pagtitake ng notes kasi medyo napapabilis yung pag-click ko from one slide to the next slide. So, but if it would also help you, feel free to click on those lesson videos. And especially for those who are enrolled in oral communication, in yung mga college students na nagtitake ng oral com ngayon o mga senior high school na may subject na oral communication this semester. So, those videos are for you. Feel free to click on those videos. Wala akong voice over doon, wala akong discussion. Sinadya ko po talagang hindi lagyan ng voice over discussion yung videos na yon. Slides lang siya na naka-video type. Kasi baka mamaya hindi na makinig sa akin yung mga estudyante ko. Mag-rely na lang sa channel ko. Ngayon, ang pag-uusapan natin ay kung paano i-improve ang speaking ability mo when it comes to using English, the English language. Marami kasi nagtatanong sa akin kung paano ako naging fluent in using English language in every conversation. Dahil daw ba yun sa itinuro sa amin sa school? Dahil ako ay English major, so expected ba yun na dapat magaling ka magsalita in English? But to be honest, hindi talaga siya itinuro sa amin. So, ang itinuro sa amin when we were in college is how to criticize literatures, how to teach English to students. So, more on theories, strategies on how to teach English to students. So, not really how to be fluent in English, but along the process, nade-develop na rin yung aming speaking ability, yung speaking skill namin in using the English language. Kasi yung tinatakil namin ay mga English literatures, and we were using the English medium in the classroom. So there, na-i-enhance na rin yung aming speaking ability, our communication skills using the English language along the process. So it only means kung ano yung kakayahan namin ngayon, kung ano yung level ng skill namin ngayon in speaking in English. It's more of personal, it's more of personal effort talaga. Talagang hindi naman kasi siya instant. Okay? Ang pagsasalita sa English and improving your communication skills using the language is not instant. Kailangan talaga siyang pinapractice. Okay? Minsan nagtataka tayo, we understand English speakers clearly, but we cannot speak English fluently. There are people who are good in grammar and pronunciation, but they struggle in speaking English spontaneously. And do you find sometimes, even though you have this brilliant idea about your teacher's question, about someone's question, but you are having a hard time saying it because you don't know how to say it in English? Nangyari na ba yun sa inyo? But what is fluency? Fluency is your ability to speak a language without stuttering and without hesitation. That's fluency. So let's do something about it. Here are my tips on how you could improve your English speaking or your communication skills in using the English language. So my first tip is, do not be afraid to speak in English. Practice, practice, practice. That's really the key. Practice. Do not be afraid. Be friends with people who are native speakers of the language. May ibang kabataan or may ibang mga tao na they are asking, paano ka ba naging fluent in speaking English? Ano yung tips mo sa amin? Pero actually, wala naman talagang the best pa na advice na may ibibigay namin sa inyo, kundi you have to use the language every day. So even in your recitations in class, do not ask your teacher whenever you are asked to recite, do not ask, Ma'am, pwede po Tagalog? Actually, that is unethical. minsan sa mga recitation sa school, whenever I pose an English question, my students would ask me, "Ma'am, pwede po Tagalog?" There. But then they want to be fluent in English, but they are always asking me if they can speak and they can answer the recitation question in Tagalog. So how can I help them be fluent in English if they themselves do not want to help themselves? Kasi the more you are exposed in speaking the language, the more you are exposed in the English language, the more that you will be comfortable with it, the more that you will be comfortable speaking it, and the more that you will be fluent in speaking it. Join group chats with native speakers, makipag-usap ka sa mga foreigners sa school ninyo if your school is an international school and there are foreigners studying there. Try to have a small conversations with them using the English language kasi mapipilitan kang magsalita sa English kapag ang kausap mo ay native speaker ng English. Most English teachers actually require students to speak in English language during their English class. So try to follow that rule. Your teacher knows what he must do to help you be fluent in English. And sometimes people reason out, "But I'm shy. It's difficult to speak in English. I'm afraid to be a laughing stock among my friends." Just always remember, it's always uncomfortable and intimidating at first. Okay, my second tip is do speed reading and record yourself. So you can choose from blogs, newspaper, get a newspaper, or choose a blog post that you can relate with, or just any article on the newspaper or your textbook, and then read it, read aloud, then time yourself. Or even, it would be better if you will record yourself, you will take a video of yourself reading that manuscript or reading that blog article. The first time you read that article, you time yourself. And then the second time, you try to beat your first time. For example, on your first reading, you got to finish reading the article 1 minute and 20 seconds. On your second reading, you try to beat that time. Do it over and over again. So practice every day. Practice doing speed reading and read it with conviction. Siguro magtatanong kayo, why would I do that? Why would I do speed reading over and over again? What's in it for me? This is actually to get your mouth used to producing English sound. So, parang sinasanay niya yung dila mo, yung vocal system mo na mag-produce ng mga sounds in English. And it would be like normal to you the next time you do it. Kasi you are already used to it. Okay, my tip number 3 is you will repeat English phrases from songs and movies you heard and watched. Okay, so uulitin mo yung mga phrases, mga dialogue na pinuproduce, mga dialogue na binibitawan ng mga artist, ng mga actor and actresses sa movie na pinapanood mo. Syempre, yung mga movie na to ay dapat American movie or English movies. Syempre, hindi mo gagawin to if it is your first time to watch the movie. Because if you will be doing it, you will be pausing and pausing the movie. Hindi mo na siya may enjoy. So, just choose a movie na napanood mo na and then replay it. Then, i-pause mo siya at ulitin mo yung dialogue na binitawan ng mga actor and actresses sa movie. Parang ginagaya mo yung accent nila, ginagaya mo kung paano nila binibigkas yung mga English words, ginagaya mo yung intonation nila, and if you will be doing it, it would also help you to become fluent in speaking English. To sound English, okay? Yung problema kasi sa mga Pinoy, yung intonation natin sa Tagalog, dinadala natin kapag tayo naman ay nagsasalita sa English. Like for example, pag nagtanong tayo in Filipino, we would say, "Kumain ka na ba?" Ngayon, pag nagtanong tayo in English, dinadala natin yung intonation na yon papunta sa English. So ganito natin siya sinasabi, "Have you eaten?" Diba? It's not English. I mean, you don't sound English in that way because you are copying your intonation in Tagalog to English. Okay? So in English, it should be rising intonation like, "Have you eaten? Have you eaten already?" Okay? So, rising intonation dapat. Ganon. My tip number 4 is you have to think in English. Do not translate. Kasi if you will be thinking in Filipino or in your mother tongue, in Waray-Waray, in Bisaya, in Ilocano, and then translate it to English, it involves a long process. And sometimes we don't have direct translation from our mother tongue to English. My tip number 5 is be friends with your dictionary. With Merriam-Webster dictionaries, be friends with them because it will really help you to gather vocabularies that later you will use in your speaking. One common problem in not being able to speak spontaneously is because we are grasping for words. Alam natin yung gusto nating sabihin, but we cannot find a perfect word to say, okay, to describe our opinion, our feelings, and ideas. So that's because we lack vocabulary. Wala pa tayong rich vocabulary in our bank that we could use in our speaking. Okay? So dyan napapasok si Merriam, si Webster. Sila yung ating best friend in enriching our vocabulary. Whenever you come across with an unfamiliar word, you really write that word and then kunin mo si dictionary, isulat mo yung meaning niya, and then copy the example of sentence using that word, and then use that word in your own sentence. And the next time you recite in your class, or the next time you get a chance to be in a communication situation using English, try to use that vocabulary, try to use that word. Kasi pag ginamit mo siya in your conversations with other people, it will be permanent in your vocabulary bank na magagamit mo. Okay, so guys, those are my 5 tips. I hope they help you in improving yourself in speaking English. And just always remember that whenever you are in an English-speaking situation, produce words naturally as if it is your first language. And do not be concerned too much about your grammar and enunciation. Just focus on the message that you want to deliver. Again, being fluent in English is just all up to you. Just like following these simple tips is all up to you.